Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. To start things off, the European Central Bank should determine objectives for its digital currency task force by mid-2020. The European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde said during her first policy meeting earlier today. The European Central Bank's Governing Council met to decide the benchmark interest rate and the monetary policy. After the event, new European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde held her first press conference along with European Central Bank Vice President Luis de Guindo. She said that the European Central Bank hoped to figure out objectives for a digital currency before the first half of next year ends, adding that the ECB should be ahead of the curve on that matter. Before developing a digital euro, the European Central Bank has to set its priorities and determine what it wants to achieve with the task force. Lagarde stated, and I do quote, "Are we trying to reduce costs? Are we trying to cut out the middleman? Are we trying to have inclusive finance at no cost? No, they're not. This is a whole range of objectives that can be pursued," end quote. She admitted the high demand for stablecoins, though explicitly ignored Bitcoin as they always do. The new European Central Bank president referred to the interest shown by Canadian and British counterparts. She said, "My personal conviction is that given developments we see, not so much in Bitcoin, but in stablecoin projects, we'd better be ahead of the curve because there is clearly demand out there that we have to respond to," end quote. One, if you haven't watched this channel before, I love when they don't pay attention to Bitcoin. It's what they've done for a very long time. They didn't pay attention. One of the major things that has always gotten me, and I think it's a cornerstone, a key front. It's a part of why I love the cryptocurrency space and why I love Bitcoin. I listened to a discussion among some prominent people within the cryptocurrency space. This was around 2017, maybe early, maybe 2018, maybe somewhere around that time. And they said what most people didn't know is that there were a lot of, not errors in Bitcoin's code at the very beginning, but they said if governments had figured out what Bitcoin was or what Bitcoin could be, they could have actually dismantled it relatively easily. Like even now they say like it takes maybe several hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars to be able to like try to shut down the Bitcoin network, what have you, yada, yada, yada. But apparently it could have been done with great ease many, many years ago. And the longer that they, you know who they are, don't pay attention to the Bitcoin network, to the decentralized cryptocurrency space, the stronger it can become behind the scenes, whether they know so or not. The point to be made is that at the beginning of this year, there was zero discussion as to the matter of a central bank digital currency, any type of stable coin, anything. I mentioned at the end of last year, stablecoins were becoming far too popular. I did not see a future where it spawned into what we have right now, where everything is kind of very stable coiny and everyone's trying to develop their own. There will, I think, over 100 that we had at the end of last year. So I can only imagine how many that there are right now, the new ones that are trying to pop up that people just simply are not paying attention to. The point being, ever since Facebook announced that they were going to launch Libra, banks completely lost their minds. Even, I think it was right after Libra announced that they were going to be launching, we had many major countries, many major central bank world governments announced that there was no need for a digital dollar, a digital yen, a digital euro, a digital anything. And now for some reason, as we near 2020, they're all trying to either create something, work on something, proposing something, trying to get something done before the middle of next year, which is that's a huge jump. I remember a couple of months ago we had something, I'm pretty sure it was from the European Central Bank. There's something from the Japanese Central Bank and some other one as well. They said they didn't see any major country developing a digital currency within the next 5 to 10 years, that there was simply no use for it. I'm pretty sure a lot of you remember that as well. And now, lo and behold, they're now thinking of proposing, of looking for something to be determined by mid-2020. That's absolutely insane. I assume if there is anything concrete that does come from this, we probably won't see a rollout of this until 2021, maybe potentially the middle or end of 2022, as they try to make sure that their systems are working properly. However, the fact that this has even been proposed, what even gets me a lot more is when they say this out loud, when they announce that they're thinking of these things. And usually for me, these things are kind of iffy, if that makes any sense. It's clear to me, in my eyes, that these things have been worked on for quite a bit of time. We've had news from a number of organizations. A number of people have told me things in the comment section. I've actually researched them, or they sent me links, yada, 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 and I've gone through them. A lot of companies, organizations have actually been paying attention to crypto since around 2014, 2015. Buying up Bitcoin, mining Bitcoin, have subsidiaries who are this, and that with Bitcoin. So it leads me to believe that since around 2017, 18, a lot of these places have also been looking into the idea of a stablecoin, if not a digital currency, to replace the current fiat paper system that we have right now. Don't be confused. When everything is digital, it'll still be inflationary. Probably even a lot more than we currently have right now, because they'll really just be able to hit a button. The point being, it'll shape the entire world as we know it. The most interesting part being, to kind of finish this thought off, is that the future is becoming more digital, and I want to say I wonder why they ignore Bitcoin more so. I don't think they're ignoring it. I think still behind the scenes, maybe it's my tinfoil hat, but it's clearly obvious that it's making waves behind the scenes. That this is Bitcoin caused one major wave that has a whole bunch of little smaller waves following after it. And I think we're being told to just pay attention to these waves as opposed to the larger one that's really taking shape. Anyway, I assume within the next couple of days, weeks before the year is over, we will probably have one more, at least, major country come forward to say, hey, we're also thinking about it as well. But yeah, let's move on. Next up, the New York Department of Financial Services, or the NYDFS, is getting specific about how it will update its controversial virtual currency license, announced on Wednesday by Superintendent Linda Lacewell at a breakfast held by Cranes. I thought I had misread that. They were actually having breakfast held by Cranes, New York. The proposed guidance will modify the approval process for listing new cryptocurrencies. Under the current regime, NYDFS approves each cryptocurrency offered within the state on a case-by-case basis. With individual exchanges, the guidance released Wednesday includes 2 specific updates the public can comment on. Any coins the regulator approves for listing in New York can be listed by any exchange that operates within the state, obviously, as long as they provide notice to the NYDFS, of course. And the regulator will publish a model framework for coins listings that exchanges should model their versions around. They said it's more than time to take another look at the virtual currency regulation given the passage of time, changes in the industry, maturation, sophistication, and new business models. What tweaks and changes should we make, because while it's our obligation to regulate, we only want to have enough regulation to get the job done and not a drop more. End quote. I don't know that much about that. NYDFS is accepting comment on the new public framework until the 27th of January 2020. According to a press release, this is only a first step in the regulator's review of the license. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, we had another state. Was it Montana, Ohio? Can't remember. Somewhere in the Midwest, I believe, who announced that they were also going to be making their own equivalent of a bit license, the same one that New York State has, and that theirs was a lot more favorable. They had this, they had that, and lo and behold, we also have the New York regulators who created the bit license now coming forward to say, hey, maybe we should look at our own, because a lot of people have stopped doing business in New York, because even more so, like I've mentioned before, many other times where people can simply just pick up their laptops and go to another country. For those of you who don't know, you can get into a car and just drive to another state. You can register there, you can get an ID there, and you can say, hey, I want to do work here. And they say, okay, no problem. And if they have a more favorable tax law or anything that makes it better for your business within the cryptocurrency space to flourish, you are going to go there. I think, and I've believed for a very long time, that for some reason, regulators within New York think that everyone is going to flock to them simply because the name New York is there. That's not how things work anymore, because everything is becoming digital. Especially, I don't know, little side note about me. I have I like watching documentaries I like watching documentaries about like money, growth, economic affairs, yada, yada, yada. And I've been watching some stuff about the prices of life in New York, and it is unfathomable. 2 or 3 bedrooms going for $5,000-6,000 a month. Don't understand it. Anyway, the entire point being, it appears that New York, here's the actual article right here from the New York State Department of Financial Services. It says proposed guidance regarding adoption or listing of virtual currencies. I assume, or rather I suggested that they do some further digging. We've had a lot of information from a lot of other companies over the last couple of years who have announced that they have tried to get a bit license or any type of a license to do work within New York State. And they've either been shut down or they applied about 2 or 3 years ago and still not have received word. And I assume at some point they simply pack up their stuff, get into a plane, and fly to Puerto Rico because there's a 0% tax rate there. And apparently the landscape is a lot more friendly to those trying to 0% tax. You know what that means? You understand what zero? Imagine making several $1 million within the cryptocurrency space after you cash out your crypto and you pay 0% tax. You know what that does to people? You can buy a house next to the beach, 0% tax. It's almost a no-brainer. So I had believed before that New York State would have gotten it together and realized their name and their position within the industry and not have been so greedy, my opinion, to think that people would simply flock to them because they have New York in the name, as opposed to realizing that they should have been more competitive. And I assume that this is maybe the first steps, potentially, them being able to do so. And anyway, without further ado, let's move on. Next up, Chinese Bitcoin miners are now responsible for controlling as much as 66% of global hash rate, a new report has claimed. China's Sichuan province is accounting for over half of the global hash rate for Bitcoin, according to a study by London-based digital asset manager CoinShares. And this was reported by Reuters on the 11th of December. Hash rate is a measure referring to the overall computing power involved in validating transactions on the Bitcoin network. As reported, more power suggests greater network security, as well as interest in the profitability potential of mining Bitcoin. According to the report, the Chinese share of hash rate has surged from 60% in June 2019 and is the highest recorded by CoinShares since the firm started monitoring the measure in 2017. While Sichuan province reportedly accounts for over, my gosh, this one province in China, Sichuan province, reportedly accounts for over 50% of the global hash rate. Imagine the town that you live in. Imagine the city, imagine the state, imagine the town, imagine the village you live in. That one place where you are right now, your district, accounting for over 50% of the global hash rate for Bitcoin. You know how obscene that is? Other leading crypto mining centers in China include Yun, Xinjiang, Inner Mongolia. The report notes other hubs include the United States, Russia, Kazakhstan. CoinShares reportedly Kazakhstan. Chris Bin-Dixon, head of research at CoinShares, suggested that the recent surge in China's hash rate is likely to be a result of applying more advanced mining hardware. In the report, he said, this is beneficial to Chinese mining industry. If you are the first to increase your portion of the hash rate, and you can do that before your competitors, that's generally good. Yeah, of course. The news that, very obvious. The news that we had before in 2000, I believe it was the end of 2017, was that the company that we spoke about a day or two ago, Bitmain, it was believed or calculated that they controlled at least 42% of the Bitcoin mining hash rate, and that apparently they had set up other subsidiaries, other companies, so the rumor was, in order to not have it so that everyone's like, hey, you control almost everything. The idea was, or the numbers were, that they controlled around over 60% of the Bitcoin hash rate. Apparently, they decreased their size. I don't know how to put that into words. so that they weren't as powerful. Maybe someone told them to do so. Maybe they simply decided to do so as well as the market had a downturn over the last year and some change. This is really significant for a country that, so we've been told, does not like cryptocurrencies or has made them illegal in some sort of way, whatever the actual real laws might actually be. 50%, first of all, 66% in one country and 50% just in one province is absolutely insane. When you talk about those who see the prospects for the future, what the future could hold, and trying to have a grasp on it before anyone else, this is kind of it. I have my own feelings on said topic. However, the idea is, like I've said before, not everyone is going to make it to the end of the race, and not everybody will make it to first place, not even 8th, 9th, 10th place. Can you imagine if other countries around the world had also had initiatives like this, if they also were trying to mine and receive and get and create Bitcoin as well? I assume this will happen in time. I wonder what the other major places are around the world, especially in the US and Russia and especially Kazakhstan, and exactly how they measure up or square up. But this is insane. And the fact that not much has changed over the course of 2 years and China still dominates all of this, I think is fairly significant in its own way. Here's the actual report from Reuters. It says China's Bitcoin miners scoop up greater production power. Yeah. Insane. Without further ado, let's move on. Really funny, as we were just talking about this a day or two ago about how they had not released any news. Uphold, a digital money platform providing access to investments and payments using blockchain technology, has announced a partnership with crypto-based lending company known as Salt. We were just talking about that we hadn't heard from them. Together, the two plan to provide users with cash or stablecoin loans using cryptocurrencies as collateral. Uphold's 1.7 million users can now secure loans through Salt against their holdings in Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, Bcash, Dash, and XRP. The integration of the two platforms provides enhanced access to liquidity, enabling users to unlock additional value in their crypto holdings. Robin O'Connell, Uphold's chief revenue officer, told Cointelegraph, millions of Uphold users that are holding or hodling cryptocurrencies might want access to those funds without having to sell their crypto assets. The partnership with Salt allows users to free up liquidity while maintaining the potential upside of the underlying crypto asset, end quote. Salt was a coin that I was really into about a good 2 years ago. The idea was that in the future, first of all, this was in the cloud of crypto going up, and no crypto could do wrong. It was believed even before we had a real idea of what the ICO craze was. It was that the lending platforms within the cryptocurrency space would do exceedingly well. I think Salt had announced first that they had received the proper licenses. I think they were working with another company and they were doing so-and-so and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, I loved it. I thought it was going to be one of the top ones, but I think they lost a lot of funding as the market started going down. And they were one of the, don't want to use the word victims, but they were one of the casualties. I can't find a nice word for the market as it was going down. Very fascinating that they're back in the news. I don't know what this has done to the coin. I'll look as we're looking at the prices to see if the news has made it go up anywhere, but I'm very 50-50 on a lot of these things right now. Not even, I'm like 20-80 on a lot of these things and how they're going. I think crypto lending is obviously going to be a very major thing within the space, but I think we may need a couple of years for things to kind of settle, solidify, the market to kind of move once again so that we can see exactly which ones arise. But I mean, lending platforms right now, if you've never watched a documentary, and it's very sad, what are they called? Payday loans. Watch a documentary on payday loans. It's very sad, but it shows that there's a very huge market for lending money yada, 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 so and so and so and so. And the interest rates on a lot of these things are absolutely massive. Anyway, yeah, Salt is apparently partnering with Uphold, or has already partnered with Uphold. Let's see if we get, I mean, I don't think that we're going to have an enormous amount of news about a lending platform in the news every day, but fascinating to hear that they are still around, still moving. In unsurprising news, cryptocurrency exchange Kraken is launching support for Tezos staking. Oh my gosh, I didn't see this coming. According to an announcement published on the 11th of December, starting on the 13th of December, Kraken will enable its users to trade with Tezos and obtain instant financial rewards. To begin staking Tezos, users have to put cryptocurrency into their Kraken staking wallet, but already having Tezos in their spot wallet. Those users who stake Tezos will reportedly receive a 6% return annually, with rewards paid 2 times a week. Kraken further notes that staked tokens are inaccessible for trading or withdrawal, obviously, as they're being staked on the network. Kraken confirmed to Cointelegraph that the exchange is looking to add additional proof-of-stake protocols, but declined to name new coins to be added. The whole Tezos thing, cool, wonderful. This is what I'm more interested in. I want to know exactly what the next coin is going to be for all of these things. Cardano doesn't have proof of stake yet, so they say. Neither does Ether. I think these two are going to be very big candidates. I've been wondering for a while, and this isn't... The people from Cardano said before that we should have had staking by now on the network. I'm wondering what would happen to the price of Cardano if they announced on Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, Binance, Fifth Name, that they would all be having Cardano staking. I wonder what would happen. I'm looking forward to Ethereum staking. You know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of the network actually, upgrading and having staking. I can't think of many other coins, but I think it's going to... That in itself could cause a... I don't dare say that it would cause a bull run. I think it would cause a huge amount of renewed interest within the space if people simply just had to buy something and you got 6%, like I said the other day in the other video. That's huge. I think a lot of people don't really understand the concept of getting a return like that, especially while still owning the cryptocurrency. If there's no real hindrance in you being able to put your stuff into a staking wallet and being able to withdraw it within at least a 24-hour period, while you made money off of that coin actually going up and you still get the 6% return from it having been inside of the staking service, that's huge. There was another staking protocol. I can't remember what it was. Oh, what was it? It was something like where you kind of air quote staked your coins on the network and you got like free coins for having your coins stuck inside the platform. But I think it took like 3 months to get it out. And I was like, you think someone's going to wait 3 months to get their money out of it? Anyway, the point being, Kraken has added Tezos. This is now, I think, the last major platform to have added it. Everyone else who comes after will not be copying, but they're also going to try and join the fun as well. I wonder, because you know, Kraken, Coinbase, and Binance are definitely probably looking at least 5 other coins to start supporting staking as well. Tezos is the main one. Tezos is in the news every single day about a new company adding it for staking. Here's the actual article right here on their blog. It says, earn a 6% return staking Tezos available on Kraken. Hold on. Wait. There we go. I was trying to sit better in the chair. Almost threw the microphone on the floor. Tezos staking Kraken December 13th. Yeah, let's move on. In kind of popular yet odd news, Jack Dorsey's latest foray into decentralized technology could be a harbinger of a radical shift in social media infrastructure. It all depends on the execution. On Wednesday, The Twitter CEO announced plans to announce or support an independent team of up to 5 open source architects, engineers, and designers to develop an open and decentralized standard for social media. He said the goal is for Twitter to ultimately be a client of this standard. Without reading much further, because it just kind of goes in loops, it appears that they're trying to create a decentralized way or platform or infrastructure for social media to run on top of, and he wants Twitter to also be on top of this as well. For those of you who don't know or have forgotten, Jack Dorsey loves Bitcoin. I mean, he loves it very deeply. He has an affinity for it, and I think he's mentioned before that he thought about or probably is trying to find a way to integrate Bitcoin, if not the Lightning Network, into Twitter in some sort of way. I'm sure there has to be something behind the scenes that's kind of floating in this direction. The entire point being, we have a lot of talk now. First of all, I'll put it to you this way. If Twitter launches their decentralized crypto social media platform before the people from EOS do, then I mean the people from EOS have almost no chance. Twitter announcing a brand new Twitter that's decentralized would probably take off very quick. I wonder what that means for the platform. I wonder what that means for the future of social media. I wonder what happens to a platform. Like, can you say anything? Can you post anything? Can you look at anything? Can you badmouth people? Can you do things without being censored in some sort of way? I felt that for a long time, and even still now, that people use the term decentralized as a way to simply, yeah, we're decentralized. Yeah, we like blockchain. Just to kind of say it out loud, then you realize that they're not really decentralized. I wonder what a social media platform that doesn't have a king sitting in the center of it actually looks like. What will people be able to do? What will people be able to say? How will people be able to interact with each other without being censored or being, you understand what I'm saying? I wonder what that means for society, because we know a world only where we live inside of a box, where we live inside of this cube, where we can't say this, we can't say that, we have to think this, or anyway, without going too deep into it, one of the main things around here as well, I think they were talking about the actual, similar to that topic as well, as far as like how it will impact people, and yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Here's the actual tweet for it right here. It says Twitter is funding a small independent team of up to 5 members. The goal is for Twitter to ultimately be a client of this standard for the centralized social media. Yeah. Let's move on. To kind of finish things off, in a story that appears to be interesting, but also is worded very oddly, Croatian Post, the biggest provider of postal services in the Republic of Croatia, is now offering a cryptocurrency exchange service at 55 post offices throughout the country. Currently, 5 cryptocurrencies are supported. This follows a successful implementation and positive results of a pilot program at a few branches. The Post found interest in this service and plans to offer additional crypto services in the future. Croatian Post announced on Wednesday that its customers can now exchange, keyword, can now exchange 5 cryptocurrencies for the Croatian kuna at 55 post offices throughout the country. Croatian Post is the biggest, yada yada, so and so. In addition to offering postal, financial, retail, and insurance services, the Post declared, starting the 11th of December, all Croatian and foreign services users will be able to convert their cryptocurrencies to HRK in just a few simple steps. The announcement explains that once a customer submits a crypto exchange request, a QR code will be scanned and you will receive cash at a post office. The 5 coins that they support right now are Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, Lumens, and EOS. The exchange calculator is on the right here. The Croatian Post website lists all 55 post offices, yada, 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 so and so and so and so. When I read this, I was like, wow, that's awesome. But what it is right now is that they allow you to trade your crypto into fiat. That was the weird part that kind of got me. And then it says over here, in the future, we also plan to introduce the option to buy cryptocurrencies at Croatia's post offices, thus making them all the central points for cryptocurrency transactions across Croatia. That then makes it a lot more interesting. The first part is that they have a thing where if you have crypto, you can sell it to them to receive fiat, which I was like, that's a little weird because I've had my own ideas for quite a bit of time that there are definitely a number of countries out there. We've seen these services introduced before in many post offices as well. It's always a post office. It's never in a bank. It's never anywhere else. There's always in the post offices. Isn't it weird that most post offices always have yellow and white as their colors? Anyway, yeah, it's kind of weird. The point is that they have a one-way thing, and I've thought for like a long amount of time that there's definitely governments, in my opinion, trying to accumulate cryptocurrencies. One of the easiest way for them to do so is to get you to sell your cryptocurrency and give it to them while they give you fiat back. The other point being, this is actually kind of cool. This is a major announcement. I know it won't make the mainstream news. I know most people won't really care about it, and I know it may not even affect the price. But this is now a way. Think about this. This is a postal service which many people, if not everyone, uses at some point during the year or their life. You'll be able to go to a post office in Croatia and either buy or sell cryptocurrency. I know the whole prospect of having a third person, someone else there, but we had none of this in 2017, 16, 15, 14, 13. We didn't have any of these services. We didn't have an entire country allowing people just to walk into a post office to buy cryptocurrencies. I have a very strong belief that when we do have a bull run, I think it's going to be one of the craziest moments of our entire lives. The bull run of 2017 was people trying to funnel themselves, and listen, if you wanted to buy crypto in 2017 during the bull run, you had to go online and use Coinbase or Kraken. There were very few places that allowed fiat purchases. If linking your card, linking your this, linking your so-and-so. We now have hundreds, if not over 8,000. I dare not say thousands or tens of thousands. We definitely have over 8,000, like 1,001 places around the world. This will be an entire country where you can run to any post office as the prices are going up or down. You'll be able to buy or sell directly. You understand the significance of that? This is why I'm never not bullish on crypto. Because our news is always like this. Our news every single day is something super significant. Like even the entire thing of being able to go into a tobacco shop in France and buy Bitcoin. Like what? Like imagine the prices going up and you don't have to rely on just Coinbase or Kraken. You now have Gemini. You now have Binance. You have Binance US. You have OKEX. You have all these other platforms. You can run into a post office or a tobacco shop and also buy it as well. Oh, the future is very bright. At least this is how I see it. As always, a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Mr. Pickles, J Crypto, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Bare Bones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohair Maroney, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Woody and Daisy, Triple M and J, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bank Roll Network, Adobo, Mill Wheezy Mechanic, Strange Radio Central, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Cryptopolis, Nicholas Run Earth, One Piece, One Love, Damian Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich, The Third, Vlad the Impaler, Krypton Beer Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Mangialavodi, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle keeps skipping that leg day. Yes, to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Sammy Boucha, Ting Tang, Walla Walla Bing Bang, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, and Shoop Shoop, Diddy Wop, Hummer Hummer Wang Dang. Thank you all very, very much for your support at the moment. I was reading something before I started this video, and apparently some of it is true. A lot of the altcoins look like they are trying to rally. The top 10, well, yeah, there we go. Tezos, for those of you who are not looking at the screen or did not know, Tezos is currently up by 10.38%. It is currently in the top 10 cryptocurrencies. I think, I'm going to assume it has a very high chance of being able to pass by BSV within the next week if this trend continues. Every single day we've had very good news from Tezos. They have caught my attention. I see the potential prospect of it. That's as much as I will say right now. Cardano's up by a bit. Cosmos is up. Neo is also up for some undisclosed reason. VeChain is up. Zcash is up by a bit. So is BAT, Synthetics, Quantum. A number of coins look like they're trying to move up. Babacut coin is also up. A BBC coin. Actually, yeah, hold on. I wanted to check where. Let me see if I can find it this way. Nope, not gonna find it. Gap waves and a coin. If it's not within the top 150, then we'll just move on. Grin is kind of going up. Elf and the Strat, the Dusica. Not looking good, especially for the 24-hour volume. Oh boy, yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it. It's fine. Ooh, $4,000. It's not looking good at all. Anyway, right. It is Friday. My goodness, this week went so fast. I hope you all enjoy. I hope that you all have an incredible day, an incredible morning, an incredible afternoon, an incredible evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. It's time for me to go play some video games. Not even joking. The moment I've realized I do too much in my life. When I'm done with this channel, I go work on the second channel, and I legit work on it kind of like all day. And then I work on other projects, and I get other things together, and I'm trying to figure out other things that I was doing a couple of years ago, bringing those back. Extra side income. No rest for the wicked, as they say. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.